I am walking within the midst of coffee trees right here at the Livingstone's farm. In today's episode, we will be interacting with Moses, who will tell us more about coffee farming. As I mentioned earlier, Moses is not only a mushroom farmer, bean farmer, but he's also a coffee farmer. And we're right here at the Livingstone's coffee estate.
Yes.
And we're going to be looking at coffee in terms of planting, in terms of the fruiting, how to get the berries, harvesting and post-harvesting, all of that good stuff.
Yes, yes.
So, habari yako?
Nzuri sana, hali waheta.
I'm good.
Welcome back to the Livingstone's farm.
Asante.
It's good to have you back.
I am excited to go through coffee farming.
Yes.
You'll tell me all of these good things, you know, how we get coffee itself now.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, are you a coffee drinker or tea drinker?
I would lean more on coffee.
You'd lean more on coffee?
Yeah.
Then you're in the right place.
Yes.
All right. So basically today we are going to take you through about coffee farming, from planting, maintaining, as well as to the market.
Yes.
Okay.
So we can start with planting, as much as this is, you're the third generation
I'm the third generation here.
Yes.
My grandfather is the one who planted these coffee trees we are in right now. My father took it over and now it's back to me now. This actually ndio imenilipia school fees mpaka mahali nimefika.
Amazing.
So I have total respect for coffee.
Yes.
I see other people cutting down their coffee trees. For me it has sentimental value.
Nice.
Yes, that is why I have to take it up and manage it well, such that it will also pay school for my son.
Amen.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
So I know, as much as Auko Apeki, you know, very many years ago.
Yes.
But I know you have an idea of how to go about planting.
Exactly.
So maybe you could, you know, help us understand in terms of the spacing.
All right.
What do you use? Do you use seeds or seedlings for coffee?
Okay.
All of that, and then as we move on.
Okay. So you need seedlings for coffee. If you want to plant coffee from the start, if you were to do from seed, it will take you a long time for you now to have the coffee trees. Okay. So we normally start from the seedlings. You can buy seedlings from the coffee societies. Okay. So as we registered, or rather we take to a farmer society here in Dumberi. Okay. So how it happens? Coffee take a larger space than most crops. Okay. So it starts from the forest. You have to clear down the trees. Okay. So it's called clearing the site. Okay. You cut down the trees, you prepare the land, till, make sure there are no weeds that are growing. So then you have to, it's good to plant coffee trees in rows. You normally make holes which are 3 meters apart from each other.
3 meters apart.
Yes, 3 meters apart. Okay. And then you have to dig a hole. The one that will come now and plant the seedling has to be 2 feet, maybe 1.5 to 2 feet, and you have now to use manure. Okay. Use manure when you're planting. Okay. Make sure the manure is well mixed to make it permeable, and also the manure doesn't touch the roots directly because they can burn off the roots. Even other trees, when you're planting, maybe fruits, make sure the manure doesn't touch the roots directly. Okay. It has to be well mixed with the soil. Okay. Yes, so you can have 1 bucket of soil and 1 bucket of manure. Okay. You mix both.
In that proportion.
Yes.
Okay, so si ile ati umekuja na fertilizer
it will burn off.
It will burn off.
Yes.
Okay. And around, because of how big the tree ends up, is there a certain perimeter?
Yes. It need to be 3 meters apart from each other. Okay. So the rows, our holes need to be 3 meters, such that when the tree grows and the branches out, it doesn't touch each other. Yeah. And when you're doing management practices, you have easy access and also harvesting and pruning. Yes. So it has to be 3 meters. Yeah. And that way you can have 1,000 coffee trees in 1 hectare of land. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So we're standing on how many?
So here it's about 3 acres of coffee. It's not that big. It's quite small.
But it has very many trees.
Yes, it has. We have around 750 trees in this. So as we said, it's an estate. We call it estate, but we are not yet registered as an estate. To be registered as an estate, you need to have 6 acres and above under coffee.
Okay.
Yes, so those are the laws, the rules that we have in Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, and you'll get there.
Yes, we shall get there.
Yes.
Actually, we have a plan now, even though we'll talk into details of that, to have more youths coming in. If you have your parent who ameachilia kahawa yake, we can partner, come together, register it as an estate, and now we can be licensed to be selling our coffee directly. Because the challenges that we're having in coffee is bad prices. I'm sure we'll get to that conversation.
We'll
talk about
because
it.
Of course, even we've seen that of late with both tea and coffee.
Tea and coffee, yes.
Yes. So let's go back to the spacing.
Okay.
In the spacing, because I am a farmer and I want to neza farm vitu zingine katikati.
Yes, you can mix beans. Mixed beans is a good alternative, or rather a good crop that you can intercrop with coffee, because bean doesn't grow tall. We discourage maize, planting maize inside here, because they might compete with the for the nutrients with the coffee. So we can do beans, you can do potato tubers. They do very well.
So those are the ones you suggest people to do.
You can intercrop with coffee.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now we've planted. Let's assume we've planted the seedlings, and we're taking care of them. How is that maintenance, especially when they're really young?
Yes, when they're really young, you need to make sure they have enough water. Yes, and there are no weeds that are growing. And then there are diseases to watch out throughout the life of the coffee. We have two main diseases that are prevalent in this region.
Okay.
We have coffee berry disease and we have leaf rust.
Yes.
So when they're very young, you need to make sure they are not affected by that. They are fungal diseases. So you need to spray them after 3 months of harvesting. You need to start now spraying, and you need to make it constant.
Okay.
Yes.
So with the 750 trees on this land we're standing on,
yes,
is it that you water each and every plant, or is there a system of irrigation that you can use?
You can have a sprinkler method where you have sprinklers installed in the farm, and you can have them going off.
Okay.
It's actually the best way to water. If you don't have the sprinklers, you can make holes in between our trees. You can make deep holes, such that when it rains, it helps in sustaining water. So it might hold the water. Yes, it holds the water.
Okay.
And our seedlings will be able to take water from there.
Sip in from it as it goes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we can go into varieties.
Yes.
Of course, the two main varieties that everyone knows is Robusta and Arabica. But in Kenya, mostly it's Arabica.
It's Arabica.
And still within the Arabica, there are other varieties.
Yes.
So which variety are you growing here?
So this is SL28. This is the one that we're growing here. Like you said, it's Arabica.
Yes.
Actually, I don't think we have Robusta variety in Kenya. Those ones are mainly grown in Ethiopia and Brazil, the main producers of Robusta type of coffee. But here we have Arabica. Yes. We also have Arabica in Ethiopia.
In Ethiopia, yes. So this SL28, in terms of the variety, is it good for this kind of weather? Because I know most, because we're in the Mount Kenya region.
Yes.
The altitude is important. The climate generally is important for coffee.
Yes.
So what type of climate do you need to now plant? Because I don't think unaweza mua upande hapo nje ya nyumba yako.
No, you cannot. That is a disadvantage with coffee.
Yes.
Si ati unaweza, you need a bigger space. Huwezi panda nini hapo. Hata other regions, kuna regions zingine ukapanda coffee, kahawa haiwezi ikamea. Like in the coast regions, because you need a bit cooler climate.
Yes, the cooler.
That is why normally around the highlands is where you will find people planting coffee and as well as tea. But for coffee, you need a bit cooler temperatures, and it needs to receive rainfall maybe twice a year. Yes, it needs to receive rainfall twice a year.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So our tree has grown. Our seedling is growing as we speak.
Yes.
And now we've gotten to this stage that we're seeing. How are you able to tell that the coffee is ready, the tree is ready to give us berries? Yeah.
Well, they start flowering even after planting our seedling. The first year, other varieties, newer varieties in the region, such as Ruju 11 and Batian. Yes, they start flowering very early, maybe 18 months from planting, as opposed to these ones. We call them kienyeji. These ones are kienyeji. They will take a little bit longer. But in the second year, you can start now flowering from this, as well as harvesting maybe 6 months from there. Yes, how you'll notice is they'll gain the berries. They start when they're small. and then as they continue to get food from the soil and water as well, they continue becoming bigger until they reach a point where it will be yellow. It will be yellow and then later red, and it will be now ready for harvest.
So when it's this color,
yes,
you know it's ready for harvest.
It's ready for harvest.
How many times do we harvest in a year? Because I remember you said we need rainfall is twice.
Yes. So we normally harvest after the rainy season or during the rainy seasons. So we have two seasons in the year. We have the early crop, which normally starts from March to the middle of June to the start of July.
Okay.
That's we call it early crop, and then we have now the main season from October all the way to December.
Okay.
Yes, so we harvest, and then early crop you don't get as much as harvest as the main season in December.
All right.
Yes.
So wherever these fruits are placed, were there leaves there, were there fruits there?
Yes, so how our coffee does, how our coffee is, maybe the camera will capture this.
Yeah.
When the branch, it has other protruding branches where you have now the leaves at the end of this branch.
Yes.
So the fruits will be attached away from the leaves, so you will see they're here, and then the leaves are at the end of the branch.
Yes.
But in a healthy coffee tree, we will see one here. You will see berries that are full from here up to here.
All the way.
All the way.
Okay.
So that when you're harvesting, one tree yenye imeshiba vizuri, imekula na ikashiba, can give you up to 20 kgs of coffee.
Just one tree.
Just one tree like this.
Well fed,
yes, and that is where we are going now, into feeding it, managing very well, because I need to maintain it every month. Yes, we have 2 seasons, but every month I need to have someone here who is constantly managing the coffee farm.
Okay.
Yes.
So with the berries the way they are, because I'm seeing some red ones over there,
yes.
Would you harvest now, or do you leave them in the farm till?
If you leave them, they'll dry off and fall down. So like we've just finished now harvesting the early crop.
Yes.
Hii ni yenye ilibakia kidogo. So we'll have someone who will come and harvest all this.
Yeah.
And then it will go and be dried. And then we'll sell it as mboni. We call it mboni.
Mboni.
Yes. It normally black in color.
Black in. Oh yes.
So even when we harvest this one, there's another process. Once they go to the society, we call pulping. We call making it green coffee. Yeah. I'm going to remove a coffee here. So this is a coffee bean.
Oh, coffee bean.
Yes. So now it's no longer a berry. Now it's a coffee bean.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is the one they go and remove.
Yes, it will be dried, and then it will be hulled. You need to remove this hull, and then now you have the green coffee. Yes. Will be roasted, and then it can be grounded, and then we can have a very delicious cup of coffee after it's roasted.
After it's roasted. So
yes.
it's a long process.
It's a long process. So as we are now at the down of the value chain where of growing the coffee, there are other people who are involved along the value chain. That from farming to cup of coffee, there's a lot that happens there. Yes.
Okay. So the minute you remove, let's say the way umezitoa hizi berries, will others generate from?
Yes. Coffee is we call them perennial crops. So they grow and grow. Like we said, hii ni ya kitambo sana. So si ati ikimaliza kuvuna, we cut this one.
Okay.
But what normally happens, we have pruning that takes place. When these branches are old and they become dry, they are pruned off so that you can give rise to others. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
So like this one, to cut it short, like this one now, we are bringing this up. So when this, we are going to cut this off when you're pruning next year. And pruning normally happens in January. So we are going to remove this after harvesting in the main season, and then now we are grooming this one.
So it can come and now
it will grow and take over now.
Okay. Is there a certain time, or do you observe the tree to know when you can?
Yes, you have to observe it. If it has many branches that are drying off, you know that this one you harvested completely, and it's time now to get rid of it.
Nice.
Yes.
So I think next we'll get into now the care, because I think that's also something important for these trees to have stayed for that long.
Yeah, exactly.
There must have been some care and maintenance that's happening when it comes to even, do you need to add fertilizer? So I think we'll need to talk about that. But before that, we'll take a break.
All right.
So we're going to take a break. Please stay tuned and wait and hear more about coffee. Welcome back. For those joining us, we are at the Livingstone's farm where they also do coffee, and we're here with Moses, and now we're going to get into maintaining coffee trees.
Yes. So welcome back. How normally happens, you need to add manure every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
Every 6 months, you have to add manure into your coffee trees. And how we normally do it, you have to draw a line where the leaves are touching, where the branches are, because this is where now you'll find the roots. Normally the coffee, the coffee has a taproot, but then it has others that spread out in search now of water and nutrients. So you measure with the leaves where they are ending. You draw a line. This is why we'll come and do a shallow trench. That is where we're going to put now our fertilizers and our manure. You can do CAN. And you can do DAP, but in different intervals. You can also do now manure.
So you can just do animal manure as well?
Yes, you can also do manure in your trench, in the shallow trench. You can add animal manure.
Okay, so the trench is round?
Yes, it will go around around the, yes.
So do you measure it from the leaves that are the farthest? Is that what you use now? Yes, leaves are
the farthest is what you use to make the... If we are to do it there at the base, it will not be beneficial to this tree.
Oh yeah, because now hizi zenye ziko huku,
yes, hizi roots ndizo, exactly.
New...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you do that. Watering now?
Yes. Mainly we rely on rainfall for coffee. So we have to do the manure just before the rains, onset of rains, so that when it rains, the manure and the water will just drain down. Yes.
So now you're preparing now for July.
Yes. We are preparing now for the other season in December. Yes.
Because you already done this other one.
Yes. We've done early crop. We're just finishing up. We are now readying ourselves for the other season. So
nyinyi ndio wakulima mnasemanga tunataka mvua.
Yes. Sisi ni venye when it doesn't rain tunapata shida sana.
Bad. So in the case when it doesn't rain, you now need to install the
Yes, I need to install the sprinklers or dig. Fortunately, where we are, we have a seasonal river that normally comes. We can enclose it. We have a small semi-dam. Collect the water there in our a water pan, and then we can pump it here.
Nice.
Yes. Fortunately, we have that option if it gets dry kabisa. And that is actually one of the challenges we are having with the coffee in the coffee industry. Climate change. It's not raining as it used to 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah, the way you could predict.
Yes, you could. Now you can't predict. You can't predict the rainfall right now. So we are now looking into those other avenues or options.
You have you have no other choice but to do
exactly.
that. Okay. So if you had your farm manager, would they now need to come here weekly? Is the care for coffee, as much as they've stayed here for so long, is their care still delicate when it comes to watering, when it comes to pests, the leaf rust that you talked to us about?
And CBD, so it not necessarily weekly, but we have maybe after 2 weeks he needs to come, check whether we have leaf rust, whether we have CBD, just before the coffee berries start now producing, so that we can maintain it, we can start controlling before it gets affected. And then, like I said, in January, after now the harvest, that is the main harvest in December, we do our pruning then. So we need to remove all
during that you'll be able to note.
We'll be able to note all that.
And then now to treat now something like the leaf rust, sprays?
Yes, you have to use antifungal, maybe copper. We use copper to control the leaf rust. Yes, and the CBD. Yes.
Sawa. So we're done with that part of maintenance. I can see the maintenance is in that.
Yes, but like I can mention, I need about 20,000 per month to maintain this farm.
You need that amount?
Yes, I need 20,000 every month to maintain this farm, the 3 acres. Yes.
So if you have more land, you need the more.
The more, exactly. Exactly.
Sawa. We were at the berries at some point. So now we enter into harvesting.
We have harvested. Mainly for me, I take to a society that's called Duberry Coffee Farmers Society. So that is where I normally take my coffee. So after harvesting, we have to sort with the manual laborers. We have to sort remove the leaves and branches that had fallen off when they were harvesting, so that we only have the berries going to the factory. Once we take make there, now it's taken up. There's another process that goes there. So for me, I'll get a receipt showing that I have delivered such and such amount of kgs to that cooperative. I'm going to maintain my receipts, come do the record keeping, so that I can know at the end of this season I have harvested such and such amount of kgs. Like this, the early crop, we have harvested 1,500 kgs. From this space only.
From the 3 acres?
Yes, yes. Okay. Of which that one is not a lot. It should be more than that. We are currently doing around 2 kgs per tree. And remember, I told you, this tree has a potential of giving me 20 kgs of coffee. Yes. So I need to continue maintaining, bettering my practices, so that we can get, if you get to at least 15, then we can say we are doing a good job.
Okay.
Yes.
And once you get the 1,500 and you take it to the society, how do they buy from you? Because, of course, of late, and even for a very long time, farmers who do tea and coffee have really complained about the prices that are being bought.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to digress a bit and take you a bit further. I was one of the delegates in the 124th ICO meeting. So that is the International Coffee Organization that normally happens. Producers of coffee, they come together and discuss matters coffee. So we had delegates from Nepal, from Britain, from Brazil and US, and now in Africa we had countries represented, and that is the question we were discussing and asking ourselves: how comes the coffee prices, we as farmers, prices are going down, but when you go to buy a cup of coffee in Java or in Starbucks, it's upwards of 300, 500. Prices are going up there, but here we are not. Yes, we are not getting trickle down effect of that money. We are not getting it. But actually, it is not a unique problem of Kenya. It's happening around the world. Coffee farmers are not getting funds, are not getting back profits as they used to do before. Like we said, because of climate change, so productivity of the coffee has gone down. And here in Kenya, you find that many people are just abandoning their coffee. They don't want to do coffee anymore. And they're cutting down. And where we are in Kiambu, you see estates coming up. We have flats. So we no longer have coffee estates. We have flats that making up now the estates. So it's a problem that is there. Fortunately, or I hope with the government is going to look into that. Actually, we have the best policies. It is implementing those policies into actionable, something that you can see is the problem that we have. Yes, but the policies are there. We hope the government will intervene and will have the better prices we used to have before. So you had asked how much the society buys from me.
Like now that 1,500 that you
the 1,500, I'll be bought maybe 50 shillings. It depends. We are not the ones who sets the prices. So there are other guys, maybe marketers that are going to sit down. They're going to have an auction. And depending on the world prices of coffee, they're going to determine how much we are going to get. We normally get maybe around 30 to 40% of the prices. That is what gets to the farmer. Yes.
So what keeps you going with coffee? You
so
could easily do the apartments, the flats.
Yes. But like I said before, I have a sentimental value and attachment to this coffee because it's what has paid school fees for me, and I'm looking at it in future because we have coffee fans, we have coffee diehards. They can't take anything else apart from coffee. And then maybe I can mention that Kenyan coffee has a better taste compared to other coffees. Yes.
Is it because of the variety that is there?
Probably, and maybe because of the soils that we have here in Kenya. So Brazil can produce a lot of coffee, but not as tasty as the Kenyan one. So once we have the demand for coffee going higher and higher, I'm very sure it will fetch more money in future. So I want to keep at it. In fact, I want to add more hectares so that I can become a registered estate and sell directly. Like I told you, I take to the society right now. I am not licensed to sell this coffee. So if you came to me and tell me, Maurice, I need to buy coffee from you, I don't have that license to sell to you. I can be jailed for that.
Oh, really?
I can only sell to a society at the moment.
So if today I tell you, naona coffee berries
zimekuwa ready to harvest, niuzie, I can't do that.
Na sasa nikienda na hizi na ukose kujua.
Hiyo ni kidogo sana, hiyo hakuna shida.
Oh, so you can't sell. Okay.
Yes, I cannot sell directly to someone. Yes, I need to sell through a society. Yes, but there are other estates, registered big estates that normally sell directly to marketers. Yes.
So now, because we've talked about that, are you able to make your own coffee from this?
Yes, actually when we were growing up, my grandmother used to make coffee for us. Ikishakuwa hii ya red, tunavuna yenye imebaki, yenye imeenda kwa society.
Yes.
There are few that used to remain. Anakausha kwa chandarua.
Okay.
And then using mortar and pestle, used to grind it.
Yeah.
Remove the husks.
Yes.
And then roast the coffee beans.
After
roasting, after roasting them, you need to use still mortar and pestle to grind.
To make it fine.
Nowadays there are coffee machines that can help you in grinding, even after roasting.
Yes.
So it is possible to make your own coffee even in the house.
Even in the house.
Yes.
Okay.
There nowadays technology has come to help in. You can even buy roasted coffee beans and make the coffee in your own house. So it's possible to do it.
So it's possible.
Yes.
So all you have to do is just remove the skin.
Yes. You have to dry it out, get the bean, and then you have to grind it to remove the husks. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Any tips for someone who, I think I would say someone who has a coffee farm, because starting coffee, it would take some time. Yes. I think we should touch on how long it takes for you to grow coffee to this point. Okay. Just as we finish up.
All right. It can take you maybe 4 to 5 years to get to these levels, to have this coffee.
Yes.
But you need to maintain, because coffee can continue growing. It can become a tree. Yeah. So you need to cut off at the top when it's about 5 to 6 feet. Yeah. That is for SL variety. But because for Rio 11 it's a bit shorter.
It's a bit shorter.
So for this one, it can continue growing. But so you need to maintain and keep on cutting it.
Yes.
Yes. But to get to this level, 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5 years.
Yes.
So for someone who has that coffee estate, coffee plantation,
yes,
and anataka kuweka flats, what's that one thing you'd encourage them, especially because you talked about getting young people on board?
Yes, that is one thing we are looking at together with the county governments, getting youth back in coffee. Yeah. Because the average coffee farmer is between 60 and above years. Yeah. But now we want to make it more lucrative. Bring in youths. You can have coffee shops. So we want to lease farms that are that maybe mtu mwenye alikuwa wanayo kahawa alikufa na wenye waliachiwa hawana hiyo uwezo wa kuitengeneza. So we can go in as youths, lease those lands, you can lease it and then maintain it. I can be available to guide on how to manage the coffee farm. Yes. So if anyone needs help around this region, you can call on me. We can come with other agronomists from the county, and we can assist in that. Okay. So we need more youths. Let's not cut it down, because in future, the demand for coffee will always be there. Yeah. And it's growing because maybe when guys are growing up, umepata kamshahara kako, mnaita your best day, let's go for coffee. Let's go for coffee date. Awasemangi, let's go for tea. Tea is for the British. Here we go for coffee. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Amazing. I like that. Thank you for taking me through that.
Most welcome.
For the berries, one day you're going to grow and you're going to have your own estate.
And my own estate, and I can be able now to sell directly.
Exactly.
Because you have the demand in the Middle East as well as in Europe.
Amazing.
Yes, in America as well. Yes.
Thank you very much.
It has been a pleasure to have you here.
Yes.
Most welcome. Come again and again. We're going to have other varieties and other crops that we can learn more.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for staying tuned. I hope you've gotten the tips about coffee farming and you have enjoyed the show. Remember to catch us next week, same time but a different place, right here on Kilimo Diaries.